Okay, so and welcome everybody. Welcome to part three. And with part three, we have last few questions to pop up. And yeah, so here we go. As a DJ, how different is playing Bitcoin events compared to regular clubs or parties?
I would say Bitcoin events are more chill, but they're also like more crazy in their own right. They have a lot of crazy Bitcoiners that want to have a lot of fun, very good mentality, but overall more chill because there's more speakers there. There's more
Yeah.
people coming to educate themselves and more sophisticated crowd, more adult crowd. DJing at a bar or a wedding or a private event,
Mhm.
people are coming to party. They're coming to get crazy. So you'll get more of a wild crowd.
Have you ever played Bitcoin related music in non-Bitcoin environment? And
Yeah.
how did people react?
You know, people don't really notice, I don't think. I've played quite a few Bitcoin songs, some of my songs and other Bitcoin songs at my DJ events. And whether it's at the end of the night or in the middle of the night or at the beginning,
Mhm.
it's hard to get a true reaction. I've never had somebody come up to me and say, oh, that's Michael Saylor on that song, or oh, that's Max Kaiser. I do use their samples a lot on equipment like this.
Mhm.
So this has samples on it and you could trigger different samples. I'll keep Michael Saylor maybe on this one, Max Kaiser here, and then maybe, old Warren Buffett
Mhm.
where he's hating on Bitcoin. Different Bitcoin related
Yeah.
stuff, and I'll trigger those samples. And yeah, I've never gotten anybody say, yo, Michael Saylor. Maybe one time, I can't remember. I might have gotten one person like Bitcoin, but nothing that that stood out too much.
Do you have a tour?
I don't have a tour personally that I'm doing right now. I'm not on tour, or I don't have anything set up at the moment, but I'm constantly DJing out in Los Angeles at local bars, local restaurants. This weekend, I'll be at 2 local pubs in the Los Angeles area
Nice.
that are very, very great. A lot of people go to them. It's going to be probably about 500, 600 people in attendance.
So, where do you see Bitcoin music and Bitcoin culture heading in next 5 years?
Bitcoin music in the next 5 years, I would probably have to say, will get significantly bigger, will gain a lot more traction. There'll maybe be a few artists that break out above the Bitcoin community and become more of a known artist
Mhm.
in their
Yeah.
specific genres of music. I could definitely see that happening because there's so much Bitcoin music coming out, so many people working on Bitcoin music in the Bitcoin community. So I could definitely see that happening, but I still think it will remain relatively underground and still very niche.
Do you think Bitcoin needs to more artists and creators, or does it already have too many people to trying to build in public?
I think Bitcoin could always use more creators. I think it's always good for Bitcoin, whether they're podcasters or painters or, meme creators or rappers like me or beat makers or DJs. I think it helps no matter what, because it's just art at the end of the day. And if you could spark somebody's creativity or curiosity, rather,
Mhm.
yeah, if you could spark someone's creativity too, but more curiosity for what's that Bitcoin thing they're talking about, or
Mhm.
what's that
True.
Bitcoin painting in the corner, that can bring a lot more adoption. So I think it's always a positive.
True.
Even if it's
So,
bad and it's not good art, I still think it's a positive
I
because
have
you never know who's going to like
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I have last four question for you. So, some people say the Bitcoin maximalism has become its own kind of religion or a cult. Do you see any truth in that, specifically when it's come to Bitcoin content creators and artists?
I would say that if there's a Bitcoin like maximalist cult or like cult mentality rather, because nobody in Bitcoin, we don't go meet, Satoshi in a dark room and he's waiting for us. And we all make sure that we're doing the right thing. We all go with what we feel, but we stick to the basic hardcore necessity of Bitcoin, which is run your own node. So, create a
Mhm.
Bitcoin circular economy, charge in Bitcoin, ask to be paid in Bitcoin, ask to pay the merchants in Bitcoin, try to be as private as you can, resist digital ID, be more, vocal in your community about what you can change. Stand up against tyrannical government overreach. I think all that is, if that's a cult or if that's a mentality, I'm so into it that I would not be able to see it. I'm blinded, right? Because I'm very, very much in the, I'm way too for it to give you an honest critique on it, because it's just something I see as so positive and something that the world needs so dearly that I couldn't give, if it's real or not. Obviously, I don't think there is anything like a Bitcoin cult, but if there's a fake one or something like that, then obviously I'm too down the rabbit hole to tell that I'm there. I don't think there is such a thing as a Bitcoin maximalist, and I think it's just Bitcoiners. If you're a Bitcoiner, you're a Bitcoin maximalist. If you're not really a Bitcoin maximalist, if you're like, I'm in Bitcoin, or I save in Bitcoin, but I trade ETH, or I have a bunch of stocks, or I just look at it like another investment, I just think you're just using it with a fiat mentality, and you're not a true Bitcoiner. You just own a bit of Bitcoin. And that's,
Do you think a lot of Bitcoin content, including music, is made more for attention and engagement rather than actually helping Bitcoin adopt?
That's a good question. I think it's about, I think maybe it is at this point. Maybe it's more for the person's attention, and, more about the buzz that they're trying to create for themselves and the followers they're trying to gain, maybe. But I would say that the main message is always going to be about Bitcoin adoption. But maybe they're benefiting more right now through getting followers, and it's not bringing in any new Bitcoin adoption at the moment, because I haven't personally gotten somebody say, yo, I heard your song and now I'm a Bitcoiner. That's never happened to me, so I can't lie and say it's bringing in a lot of adoption, because I've only gotten praise from hardcore Bitcoiners.
Yeah. I have last question, and it is going to be completely with you. What do you want to say to the world, to the audience, in the end of this episode?
Oh man, I would say love, peace, and Bitcoin, and always, be a good person. Try to be the best person you can be. Show a lot of love to those, and always be kind to people that are in need, and just be, the best person you can be. Be better than you were yesterday. Yeah, and stand up for what you believe in. Don't think you don't matter. Don't ever think it's too. We're so far along that there's no helping us anymore. I've heard a lot of my friends that are black-pilled. They're like, oh, there's nothing we can do. There's no reason to save in Bitcoin because it'll just be captured. There's no reason to stand up against tyrannical overreach because the government's going to do whatever they want. They have all the power. They have everything. So I just want to tell everyone that you still have a voice. Your voice matters. And get out there, be the best person you can be, and do what you believe in. If it feels good in your heart and it feels like you're doing the right thing, then you most likely are. So keep on pushing and keep doing what makes you feel good.
That's amazing. And listen to podcast live. Listen to this episode.
Podcast live. Yes. Yes.
Listen to it. Listen to it. Let's go. So, Jason, thank you for being so open today.
Appreciate you.
Especially on some of more controversial questions. Thank you so much.
You're the best,
guys,
bro. That was so nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Guys,
thank you guys.
If this episode give you something to think about it, drop like and let me know in the comments what you stood out the most. Subscribe if you want to more or laugh conversation like this one. And thanks for watching, and I see you on the next episode. Bye.
Peace, guys. Thank you so much, bro.